안녕하세요. Hello everyone. Welcome to Korean Grammar Warehouse. In this session, I would like to explain the exact sound and writing order of Korean consonants and vowels. In order to understand the content, you'd better watch the previous video first, which explains about the principle of generating Hangul. Since Korean is different from your native language in many ways, there may be letters that are difficult for some of you to pronounce in Korean. And although the order of writing is not necessarily important, it's better to pay attention to the accuracy because nothing is mispresented only when you try to write the letters as close to the original as possible. I hope you enjoy the lecture now. First, there are a total of 21 vowels as shown below. I want you to pay attention to the order of writing and the sound of each. Make a sound with me and write it on your notebook according to the right order. Basically, Hangul is written from left to right and from top to bottom. 아, 야, 어, 여, 오, 요, 우, 유, 으, 이. And here are the additional vowels created by adding dots with a vertical one or horizontal one to these vowels. So each of the vowel sounds 에, 에, 예, 예, 위, 의, 왜, 와, 왜, 워, 왜. It's like when this one comes with this one, you get this vowel, and these two come for one. And this are together in here. And it goes like this way. However, when you associate them with sound, the composition changes. In the institutions that teach Korean, vowels are normally taught in the sound-related composition. Examples of the configuration are as follows. This is the order by the stroke, and this is the one by the sound. There is a style of bending the first part of the lines when writing vowels, but it doesn't mean that these are different vowels. One thing to note is that despite the little difference in pronunciation of these vowels, you don't have to pronounce them really precisely, because Koreans do not either. The types of the vowels are accepted depending on what words you are saying to convey the meaning. Therefore, it can be understood that each of these has a very similar pronunciation. E, ye, we. However, when these vowels complete letters and the letters gather to form words, each combination of the letters usually has a different meaning. So, it will not be a big problem when you learn them. Consonants are basically 14, and there are 5 double consonants. The classification changes depending on where the consonants sound, but I will explain the Korean consonants today in groups according to how these consonants sound. First, these have vocal sounds. Therefore, when you make these sounds, your vocal cord shakes. This has N sound like N, N, N. And this is similar to R in English when coming to the first sound of the full letter that I'm going to explain in another video. But when placed on the last phoneme of the letter, it's similar to L in English. And this has M sound like M, and it has no phonetic value when it's written for the vowel starting syllable. But when it comes to the last phoneme, it has the phonetic value, sound. Except for these 4, the rest are all unvowed sounds. First, the pronunciation of each of these goes like G, D, B, J. These 4 consonants are vowelsless, and foreigners often confuse them with these sounds because they make sounds similar to those 4 in the first phoneme. What's important here is that each of these does not sound G, D, B, J in the first phoneme. Therefore, if you add the vowel U after the consonants and pronounce them, they sound gu, du, bu, ju, rather than gu, du, bu, ju. This is just the aspirating sound coming out through your throat, made from inside, like H sound in English. And as for this one, you put your tongue near on the soft palate, but not touch the part, and let the air stream out. It's like S in English. As for these consonants, you feel like they are popping out because they are with aspiration. You can get them as the ones added aspiration to 4 of these in this way. Therefore, if you want to pronounce them while distinguishing between these 2 kinds, there is a way to practice with a tissue right in front of your mouth. When you make the sounds of these, the tissue does not move. But when you pronounce these, the tissue moves forward. You watch this. Gu, tu, bu, ju. And k, t, p, t. You should try it by yourself too. So in English, each one corresponds to K, T, P, C, H. Actually, we have the original order of the consonants, and all Korean consonants have their own names. I'm going to pronounce the names of these consonants. Both the first and the last phonemes of the names consist of the sounds of each letter. Additional explanations for the sound of the last phonemes are needed, so pay more attention to the sound of the first phoneme at this time. And the consonants are also written from left to right and from top to bottom. 기역, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 시옷, 이응, 지읒, 치읒, 키읔, 티읕, 피읕, 히읗. What you've seen so far are the basic consonants, and the 5 double consonants are here. 쌍기역, 끄, 쌍디귿, 뜨, 쌍비읍, ጵ, 쌍시옷, 스, 쌍지읒, ጭ. You know, 쌍 means a pair. As you just heard, these 5 are called for this hard sound, adding tension to these basic consonants. However, because they do not have aspiration, the tissue in front of your mouth does not move when you make the sounds, unlike the sounds of these ones. As far as I know, there are many pronunciations like this in Spanish. In fact, as I showed you, there is a set order for each, and there is no specific cursive writing style in Korean. But if you write the letters quickly, you often fail to keep that order. So there are the consonants that look completely different from the original ones. These are mainly written in that way. So the forms I'm writing now are treated as the same letters. When studying foreign letters, it's important to get used to them by writing them several times at first. And in fact, when you first start learning Korean, studying pronunciation is more difficult than writing the letters. I recommend you to pronounce them while writing repeatedly so that you can get used to the more natural pronunciation. I will see you again soon with an explanation of the complete composition of Korean consonants and vowels together. Thank you for watching. 안녕히 계세요.